Well, we do say we're both insane,
Yeah.
and it's just as well.
I say yes.
Yes, but it's just as well for other people that we've taken each other out of the gene pool, because we could imagine I ended up with someone who's really boring, and Charlotte ended up with someone really. We'd drive them crazy.
Oh, always dressed up. Well, yes, because that's how we live all the time at home, and it's kind of. Paul did a lot more 1940s, 50s for his rockabilly stuff.
Ah, yeah, you already did that then.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I've dressed. I bought vintage clothes and
Oh,
dressed
wow.
smart since I was about 16 years old.
People would think now that you do this because of the duo you are now, you know?
Yeah, I've always done that. Even my old clothes, because these trousers, they're all worn. These are my. At home, I do the gardening in these. You know, so you end up with your old clothes look cool as well.
Yeah.
So so that you then have no choice. You're always dressed stylish.
Yeah.
Because you have no other clothes. And but we always remember when we were up in Samwa Town Square. There was one year there was an older gypsy gentleman who was living in Samwa, and he had a white shirt, white trousers on, and a straw boater, and a little pencil moustache, grey pencil moustache. And he was just sitting there, and I think Titi was playing rhythm guitar, and there was an American girl that was singing, and he was just sitting there, and he looked so stylish. I just thought, wow. And that was about our first time here, so about 10 years ago. So that was before I was grey. So now I'm looking more like that. It's a wonderful thing to aspire to when you see someone who's older and stylish.
I think it's an art form as well, you know, just the dressing up. Because I'm wearing like a big dress and my hair is up and stuff, and I turn up and they always assume that I'm the singer and I will be in front, and they're trying to put me in the front. I'm like, I'm the bass player, I'm at the back. These are the prima donnas, put them in. I know I dress up, but I want to be at the back. It's funny. I was originally a ballet dancer. That was my first love. I started training at 3, and by the time I was 16 I was teaching and had a scholarship and stuff. But turns out I'm too big and the wrong size to be a ballerina. Then I ended up travelling around Britain with a punk band, my friends from Edinburgh.
What did you do in the punk band?
I just travelled about with them and moved stuff on and off stage.
You were like a roadie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the British Rail van.
I went away to sea when I was 15.
Yeah.
I went to sea for 2 weeks, left Edinburgh, and sailed round the north of Scotland to Oban on the other side, and then back again, and I got £192.50, and then formed a band with my brother. We played double bass, and we played kind of mixture between punk and rockabilly music.
Yeah.
I was about 28, and I toured all around Europe and all around Britain with my band, and realised all I had was a third share of a transit van, the band van, and I thought, I'm nearly 30, I need to do something. So I flipped a coin between going to university to become an accountant or do IT, because I knew I would hate it. All I wanted to do was play music. So I just thought, I'm going to hate a job, I may as well do one that I can get a job and make money. So I did that, but also played in bands.
Yeah.
And when I turned 50, I hated my job at the bank. I'd gone down to 3 days a week and playing music the other 4 days, but it was crazy. I was playing in 2 very successful bands that would tour Europe or tour England, or we played Russia, we played America. So quite often I would work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on the Wednesday the guys would pick me up after work. Oh, well, actually, it was that time I was working 4 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They would pick me up in the van from work with my clothes and guitar, and I'd go and play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and quite often late Sunday or early Monday morning I'd arrive back, shower, shave, go to work. And I did that for a year, and I was playing in 2 bands. And one day I was sitting in the canteen with a coffee and I was shaking, and I was like, something's got to give. And I was nearly 50, so I gave up everything. I gave up the 2 rockabilly bands, and I gave up my work. Charlotte said, you must leave your work, you hate it. And decided to play Django music full time. So that was 10 years ago. I bought my first really cheap Gitan guitar.
Oh, I moved to live in a commune, an anarchist commune in Yorkshire.
Anarchist commune.
Pacifist anarchist commune for a year and a half, growing food. I was a punk rocker for years with all the coloured hair, and then a goth. But most of the time I've been listening to heavy metal, so it's been like big long hair and wearing black. I was covered in skulls when Paul first silver jewellery and stuff when Paul first met me, because we didn't meet till we were in our 40?
Yeah, 41.
41.
My father left when I was very young, so my mother brought me and my brother up.
Yeah.
And my mother was incredible woman in the 1960s, when it was really frowned upon being a single mother. My grandmother, she owned a piano, and my earliest memory is about 4-year-old, sitting on my grandmother's knee, and she was playing the piano, and I'd be sitting there playing, and she would be accompanying me with the chords. So I loved that. And any time I was in some cousins' houses, if they had a guitar on the wall, I'd take the guitar down and try to play it, but I couldn't. I was just making sounds. And it surprises me, no one in my family thought we should get him a musical instrument.
I did a psychology degree. I had a midlife crisis at 22 and decided I wasn't doing anything grown up. So I went off and did that, and then realised that this is not for me. And then at 50, I decided, coming here to Samoa and things like, I loved it so much. And you always feel like you're a bit on the outskirts if you're just watching. And I've always loved bass playing. My favourite band in life has always been Motorhead. So I have a passion for bass playing, maybe of a different kind. But then I decided I wanted to learn, and I said to Paul, do you think it would be crazy if I decide to learn to play bass now? And he said, not at all. So yeah, I'll be 60 this year, so I've been playing for like 9 years now or something.
I came here one night, I didn't even have a guitar. Came here one night, and Nigel Wheeler and some English guys. In the morning I was too scared to even ask anyone if I could borrow a guitar and sit in. I just watched all these amazing players, and in the morning when we got up in our little tent, Nigel Wheeler and his friends were sitting there, and they said, come over, do you want to play? So I said, I knew one tune, I knew Minor Swing, and I sat in and played Minor Swing. And the next year we bought our caravan, and I bought my Gypsy jazz guitar, and we've been coming ever since. And it's our life now.
At first I felt more like it was like I just wanted to join in, and it was his passion, but obviously the more I play and the more I get into it, it's growing on me so much now that I think I am actually a bass player now. I started tattooing, but that was 30 years ago. I learned from a woman from London called Rox, So I started with her and learned really fast. So within 2 years, I opened my own tattoo studio, and that was 30 years ago. So that's been my main passion for life.
And who made the tattoos on you?
Friends mainly. Oh, and this one is not from a friend, but this is from a guy called Mike Davis from California.
Yeah.
It's actually based on a Sacred Heart, which is a Catholic symbol, but I'm not religious. It's to do with my grandmother, who was very religious and one of my favourite people on the planet. A very lovely person, one of these people who, no matter what people were like, was very forgiving, would take people in, just one of those sort of people. She was amazing. And at the top of the stairs in her house, her council house, she had a picture of Jesus with the Sacred Heart, which to my dad and to people who were brought up with it, they find it quite oppressive, I think, a lot of the religion. I didn't, because it meant nothing to me in that way. It just meant my gran.
Yeah.
So that's my protective one. She's there.
And you have also on your shoulder that seems to correspond with the greenish parts on top of the Sacred Heart.
Yes, they're all fly traps. My tattooing name is Venus Flytrap. Old school tattoo artists, like circus performers, would always have a name.
Yeah.
Prince Valar or something. They always had a name, and I wanted one that would sound like a woman that tattooed, but not be too girly or too frilly. And I told one of my friends this, and she said, no, you're more of a, and this is where I have to swear because this is what she said, no, you're more of a Venus fucking flytrap.
But I think it's always interesting that we do this in the middle of a field when folk are camping, and it's perfectly possible.
Yes.
You know, to look
good.
And that's what, you know, obviously what Django did. Modern society, it kind of focuses on young people and youth, and is, you know, like you're not supposed to get old, you're meant to always look young.
Yeah.
But if you grow old stylishly, you find yourself wanting to look like that. You have people that are older that you think, oh, when I'm that age, I hope to look like that.
Yeah.
This is just what we do.
Yeah.
I think we live in our own little fantasy world. But it also makes me feel a bit more closer to how Django would have been.